Hello, in this video I'm going to show you how to make a basic art journal. This one is just made out of a file folder with some drawing paper. The drawing paper size is 9 by 12, so you don't even really need to cut this down. Now you can do any size you would like and any paper you'd like. This is Bristol board that I did some jelly printing on. I cut it down. I put a whole bunch of different papers in here. I could do scrap papers. This is a paper bag. I've got book pages, some used watercolor paper, some drawing paper. So it doesn't just have to be white paper in there. Let me show you one of my finished journals. So here's an example of one that I made. I love these because they get super chunky. And this one's full of a whole bunch of different papers on the inside. And you can see how I've used the smaller papers in between the larger papers. Just adds a little bit more depth and gives you a little extra area for each of your journaling pages. Again, any size will do. I also wanted to give a try to a square size. So I've made a square one as well. With the same thing, I've put different papers on the insides of these. They're all sewn together. It's inside here has like a small envelope on it. I like to put a piece of elastic around mine to hold them closed because they get fat and chunky the more you journal in them. These are the basic supplies you'll need to make this art journal. I've got a file folder here. This is 9 by 12 drawing paper. This is an awl. This will help poke the holes so we can sew it together. I've got some embroidery thread, and this is an embroidery needle. So to start, we're going to cut down our file folder. So 9 by 12, when it's folded in half, will be 9 by 6. So we want to be a little bit larger than 6 inches. So I'm going to go 6 1/4. This way, when it gets a little bit fatter, it won't pop out. Your pages won't pop out of your art journal. So I'm just going to line this up with 6 1/4. Here, I've noticed I've cut my folder closed, so I'm cutting both at the same time. You can do this with an X-Acto knife and a ruler as well. I just happen to have a paper cutter here, and I'm going to do 9 1/4 to give us a little extra room on the top. So this is cut down to 9 1/4 by 6 1/4. For our next step, we're going to be folding down the paper. You just need to fold the paper right in half. Give it a nice crease. I would do no more than 3 max when you fold at a time. This is a really great book to make with students because it's inexpensive and it's so easy. When they're finished, you can have them decorate the cover. So as you're folding them, I'm sticking them inside. You can control how many sheets are in here. That's also nice. So if you want to have a couple more, I would probably not recommend doing more than about 20 sheets because they get a little thick. So let's make sure that this is cut down right and it fits. We'll see. Gives us about 1/8 of an inch on all sides. Our next step is going to be poking the holes and sewing. So what I do first is I line these up. So I have about 1/8 of an inch on each side. I don't even really measure the holes. So I'm just going to poke right in. You have 3 holes you need to make. So I'm poking right through with the awl and then 1 more in the middle. Then we're going to get ready to sew. I've got my embroidery thread here. You really don't need more than 2 more of the length of the book. You just want to make sure you have a little extra so that you can tie it off at the end. I'm going to thread my embroidery needle. You're going to start in the center, stick it through that first hole, pull it through. I like to hold here, keep my thumb so I have a little extra so it doesn't go through. Then you're going to come up through the top hole, back through the center hole, pull it tight. Then you're going to go in this bottom hole here. Make sure you're getting all the pages. There you go. And you're going to see you have some extra thread. We are just going to tie a knot here. So I'm going to pull it tight. Make sure there's no loose string. And then I'm going to just double knot it here in the center. Cut the extras. I always leave myself a little bit of tail just in case. And that gives you a really basic art journal. If you have a corner rounder, you can round these corners. Gives it a nice final touch. And then let your students decorate these however they like. Gives them a little bit of ownership to the book. And then I usually have them decorate the front cover with their name and something else and a whole bunch of stuff that they love.